So you've been writing for 15 years. If could you talk a little more generally about some of the lessons that you've learned? Because a lot of our audience are kind of setting out. Maybe they've got some, couple of early drafts of maybe their first novel or whatever. They're in a state in that at that stage in your career, you're very much obviously trying to learn more, and you want to know new stuff and want to know the lessons that other people have learned. What is your sort of approach to that in terms of learning over the course of your career, and what are some of the key lessons that you have learned in those 15 years?
Well, number one is always go with your gut. If you're signing a contract and you're like, oh, I don't really know about this, the answer is no, don't do it because you will have regrets. It always seems like, oh, well, I can always get my rights back, but 5 years sometimes can feel like 5 million years if you're in a bad contract. So, I mean, I think they say like having a bad agent or a bad editor is worse than having no editor at all. That's so incredibly true. Let me think. You need to always make sure that you make time to learn. It's so easy to rest on our laurels. Oh, I've published this book and people loved it. I'm an amazing author. Okay, well, you can get better. Everybody can get better. That's like, if going to conferences and doing group classes maybe no longer works for you, which it'll work for a long time, but at a certain point, you're going to hit a wall. Then hire a book coach. I actually am working with a book coach right now, one-on-one. I meet with her twice a month. And that's how you will always improve yourself. Reading constantly, obviously, is always really important as well. And I think also really making sure that you have a really strong network of friends who are in the same industry. Because, as great as my family is like, oh yeah, your book came out today, right? Oh, congratulations. It's not nearly the same as your girlfriends being like, hey girl, happy book release day. And they're all sharing it online with their friends and everything. Really having that like connection with other readers is incredibly huge. And one thing too is that oftentimes I've had a lot of people tell me like, oh, I'd love to write a book, but I don't have time. And I think time is one of those things that you can make time, because I know when I was writing initially, I was a business analyst. So my degree actually is business administration with minors in economics, political science, and accounting. Nothing to do with journalism or MFA or history or anything like that. These for me have all just been passions that I've really been able to, fortunately, be able to make into a career for myself. But so I was a business analyst full time. I was a single mother. My girls were, they were both under 10. I was a single mother for over 3 years, and they were in Girl Scouts, gymnastics, ballet. I have no family in the area. It was just me, and I still managed to write every single day. You can do your 15-minute non-smoker breaks at work. You can get up half an hour early or stay up half an hour late, take a lunch break, write and eat eat something while you're doing your lunch break, whatever the case may be. But just, try to make sure that you're making time for it, because if you're passionate about it and it's important to you, then you need to do that for yourself and for your story.
Thanks for watching this clip from the History Quill podcast, all about writing and publishing historical fiction. If you want to find out more about the topics discussed, check the description for a link to the full episode and the episode page on our website, where you can access a range of relevant resources. You can also join our email list to receive new podcast episodes and more content for historical fiction writers. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and switch on notifications.